Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're talking about Detective Comics 49 from 1941, about March 1941. You can't really trust the DC Comics Limited original release dates. They haven't been quite correct yet. Clayface Walks Again. Clayface returns for his second appearance, making him the sixth, arguably, recurring villain in the Batman Rogues Gallery. We, of course, had Dr. Death, who had like 2 or 3 stories, the Joker, Catwoman, Hugo Strange, and arguably the Mad Monk. He had 2 issues, but it was a continuing story, which is unusual because these comics are not really continuing stories. They're all like one-offs. So 5th or 6th, depending on how you count the Mad Monk, who turned out to be a vampire, remember. So this version of Clayface is the actor Basil Karloff, named after the famous Frankenstein actor Karloff, Boris Karloff to be specific, who was seeing his movie involving him being a monster called Clayface being remade, so he tried to ruin the movie by murdering people, and Batman put a stop to that. Now the movie has come out, and has been somewhat popular, and remember, Bruce Wayne's fiancée, Julie Madison, who I keep almost calling Julie Newmar, the future Catwoman actress, Julie Madison was in and has become kind of big. The studio is going to make a big push on her. So they give her a new name, a new, exotic name so she can be more popular, like they did with actresses. Portia Storm, spelled with a silent E at the end. Though I think Julie Madison's already a pretty good name. It's very fancy sounding. And now that she's being pushed, she's now not all that into being Bruce Wayne's fiancé because he's aimless, because he's a millionaire who doesn't have a job. I'm not even sure if he's running Wayne Enterprises at this point. He's just a playboy, as they describe. And how can he be a playboy if he has a fiancé? What is he doing that makes him a playboy? Most of the time, he's just going out and hanging out with Commissioner Gordon. I mean, that is like the least playboy thing you can possibly do, hanging out with the old guy over at the police station. Bruce doesn't have any sort of ideas what he wants to do. To be fair, the reason you have a job is to make money so you can live. This man has enough money that he can go run around as a bat for most of his downtime. He doesn't need money. Why does he need a job? So she breaks up with him. He no longer has Julie Madison as his fiancée. But roughly around this time, during a storm, which is why they decided to give her the name Storm, Basil Karloff is being transferred from the police station or the prison to the asylum, the state asylum, not Arkham Asylum yet. This is very how Michael Myers gets out every Halloween. They're always transferring him on Halloween. Here they're transferring Karloff, and they crash, and Karloff survives. The drivers apparently die, and he's immediately up to his old tricks. He goes and murders a makeup store guy so he can put on the makeup and become Clayface, who's just a dude in a coat who stabs people, usually, and a hat. It's actually kind of funny because Karloff seems to have a mustache, and I don't know if he shaves it. It's kind of like the Cesar Romero Joker, who would refuse to shave his mustache, so he just put white makeup over it. Instead, Karloff looks, I don't know, just like a creepy dude. But he usually just is a guy with a mustache, kind of Wilford Brimley looking. Actually, I think he looks more like King Cole from Fables, but that's not a comparison a lot of people will know off the top of their head. So now he's just plans to destroy the studio because he's pissed about the whole movie to begin with, the remake. So he's hanging around the studio doing stuff. So Batman knows he's out and what he's going to be up to. So him and Robin go to the studio where they're immediately defeated by Clayface. This is actually my favorite part because they're fighting on the studio lot, him and Batman. And they end up fighting over miniatures. So they're like kaiju. Batman fighting Clayface, who actually is the most kaiju possible villain he could possibly fight. Because Clayface could definitely, if he had enough material, become like a giant monster. It's actually surprising there aren't better Clayface stories when Clayface could be a legitimate, massive threat to Batman, but no one really does like a really great horror, unstoppable Clayface story. I feel like Clayface has a lot more potential than he has been used, and this Clayface, no, not so much. But we get kind of a kaiju fight between them. Clayface then takes a truck and shoots it at Batman, thinking that will take care of Batman. He doesn't wait around, and he goes and knocks out Robin, who, if I remember correctly, was actually useful in the first Clayface story, but here returns back to being a liability again, and he sets fire to the stage while Robin's on it. So Batman not only has to dive under the truck, he has to immediately get up and save Robin from the fire. Now Clayface seems to be haunting Julie Madison, so Bruce is very focused on stopping him before he can kill Julie Madison, or Portia Storm. Honestly, that name sounds more like a porn star name than it does a big actress, but whatever. So Clayface sneaks back onto set. This time they're filming something. We don't know exactly what they're filming. Maybe another horror movie, but everybody's wearing cloaks, so it makes it very easy for him to just be walking around set. Batman and Robin try to get on, but the security stops them because, well, no one should be running on set. That shouldn't be there. And she's under threat from guys with masks. So the security guards are a dick to Batman. But to be fair, they are doing their job. So what does Batman do? He beats the crap out of the guys just doing their jobs. While he's doing that, Robin sneaks on set, and that's when Clayface starts following them, and he figures out which one is Julie Madison because he's been following, and he shoots her with an arrow, and we think Julie Madison's dead. And this one, Batman finally goes over to Clayface and beats the crap out of him, putting him down for this issue. Only for the big reveal. Julie Madison and Robin switch places. Julie Madison's been wearing a spare Robin costume because Robin still has his costume. I don't want to get into the whole Bruce Wayne's love interest is currently in the Robin costume because, yeah, there's a whole thing about like the subtextual homosexuality between Batman and Robin, which I would argue is not actually very existent in the Golden Age until about the 50s and the overreaction to Wortham's book Seduction of the Innocents. But it's still weird that the woman he loves is dressed identical to his kid's sidekick right now. And Robin was wearing like this thing on his back because he knew something would be piercing in the back of the cloak, and they switch and he had the cloak. So everything's fine. They've outsmarted Clayface. And once again, the movie director or head of the studio, whatever the hell he is, tries to offer Batman a career in movies, which he turns down for the second time. Julie actually says out loud that she wishes her boyfriend Bruce Wayne would get into acting, which, once again, he already is super rich. He doesn't have to work for the rest of his life. What do you want from him? Like, the better idea is to have him focus on, like, philanthropy and charity than, like, have him be a big actor? Why? So as Batman stories go, I enjoy it. It's better than, like, that last one. Oh, and after my joke about a secret cabin, this issue reveals that there is a secret tunnel under Wayne Manor. Secret tunnel! Yeah, it actually works this time. I should have waited a week. Okay, that is it from Detective Comics number 49. Clayface Walks Again. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday. But Mondays through Thursday, I cover a Superman in either Superman or Action Comics. And please join us next time. Same Bat Day, same comic book channel. Have a great day.